What the IDF and the Americans, but I'll speak more about what Israel is doing, is focusing on a few different types of targets. Priority number one still is, and I think will continue to be until complete destruction, are the missile launchers. That is what the Israeli Air Force is actively hunting. Whenever the Iranians fire, that indicates their location, and then that area and that target is immediately attacked, or it's part of the target bank and hunted for the future. That, of course, has the biggest influence on the overall regional picture, and that influences Israeli civilians the most, and hence the importance. That's number one. Parallel to that, and by the way, the success is quite good. We've heard assessments from both the Americans and Israelis that high number of missile launchers and a very high percentage of missiles have indeed either been taken out or already fired. So that's one. Two, and perhaps more interesting in telling about the real intentions that Israel has, is that for the last day and a half, almost 2 days, Israel has been striking regime targets, proper regime targets in Tehran. Nothing really to do with their military capacity to manage operations, or little to do, more to do with oppressing the Iranian people. And that sends a very strong message, I think, is intended to send a message to the Iranian people and to others that Israel is indeed fulfilling that promise of actually paving the way or opening up the space for the Iranian people to eventually take to the streets when the time is right, and after the Israelis will have loosened up the area a bit. So those are two important parts. The Americans, I think, are focusing mostly on the southern part of the country, on the naval aspect, the whole Hormuz area, with significant success. I wouldn't say that it's done because, as you reported in the beginning, the Iranians have declared the area closed, and we see very limited traffic, if at all. So that's still an effort that is ongoing. But all in all, I would assess that the success is significant. Israel and the US now dominate Iranian skies, except for very few pockets of areas. Are able now to use munitions that are less expensive, less sophisticated, because our aircraft are able to be above target, what we call stand-in, as opposed to stand-off, where you have to use different weapons, and that is significant. Last thing, which I think a lot of people who have an interest in undermining the war efforts of Israel and the US is counting interceptors and munitions. To summarize it, I would much rather be on the side of an industrial giant like Israel and US than on the Iranian side. They have real issues with resupply, no ability to manufacture, no real ability to import. So if anybody's going to run out of missiles or munitions, I bet it's the Iranians.